Dear friends, I'm going to make a discussion on the theme of the poem Ode to a Nightingale by John Keats. This is a very deep poem based on deep deliberation of the poet about the life and the way we should face the confrontation of life. It has been the very much purpose of life to find a moment of peace and find a moment of beauty in art that we could enjoy it for avoidance of the confrontation of life. As you already know, that nature has been a dynamic force for all of us to make our life energetic, pleasant, happy, and inspirational. Here, a nightingale is a symbol of natural force which is very closely related to our life, and we are happy being near to the natural world. It is not only the proclamation of John Keats, rather, all romantic poets have almost the same feeling to enjoy life in the lap of nature. Here is a very much observation, and that is a true observation of the poet, that we are all marching to death. It is just a kind of a stoppage of the physical world that we have been living for long. But in contrast, the main idea is that nothing can last long. Even our life is short lived, it does not last long. Whatever we see in the natural world has a very short life. Even the most pleasant and enjoyable thing has a very short life. We can take the example of the Song of Nightingale in this particular poem, and we find that the song as such is immortal, but the poet enjoys it only for a little time. So there is a sort of immortality in the bird, which is a creature unplagued by human anxiety about march to death. Now, we can observe that nightingale has been symbolically used, that it is unplagued by human anxiety about death. We are very much plagued by the anxiety that we are marching to death. This realization makes us sorry. We become sad to know that finally we are going towards death. But we find that the bird nightingale is not bothered of this kind of realization. So because the bird is not bothered of this sad realization, as has been mentioned by John Keats, it is fully free from the anxiety that we are facing. It is the anxiety of death which has been very much the factor, or rather a responsible factor, to make our life sorry. No, it is just to enjoy the life and the beauty of life. It happens only when we start living our life as is by a nightingale. The nightingale, as a bird, is also going to die. But the song it sings has been sung since time immemorial. It has been heard since immemorial time. We can say that still today it is heard, and the bird will sing the same song with full melody and beauty. And it is what the very much art of our life is. Despite the fact that we are going to die, we should sing just like a nightingale, which is unbothered of all these kind of realization. And that nightingale is not bothered of the fact whether it is going to live a long life or a short life. The only concern to the nightingale is to sing a beautiful song of life that could make the human civilization pleased, happy. Oh, we can say that when we are free from this kind of bother or anxiety, the song becomes immortal. And so its song has been echoed across the centuries. Nightingale flies away, leaving the speaker with a deep sense of loss. But the song remains resounding, echoing across the centuries. Art never fades. Human being is going to fade, but art always lives. And here we too are just like nightingales, which are going to die, because that nightingale is a physical reality. But the song that it sings is not a physical reality. It is a spiritual reality. It is the natural reality which is full with beauty and melody. And this is the reason that its impact on human civilization remains for long. So everything inevitable fades. So it is a kind of elegy, we can say, that nothing is living all the time. Or we always know that time fits natural world. It is the matter of time that we live. We don't know how long we are going to live. So, and we should not be anxious to know this kind of thing, because it is very much in the womb of time. We cannot explain and find out the reason how long we are going to stay here. It is just the time which can predict. So time relentlessly acts on people, resulting in weariness and sickness, and it makes people aged. Now we know that everything is under the control of time, and we generally know that it has a very great impact on human life, which results in weariness and sickness. So even youthful vigor and beauty fades. Beauty cannot stay beautiful, and new love will always be gone. So it is changing. We say that love and beauty are going to stay, but the physical world does not go to stay. So natural world comes and is bound to crossing progress of time. So flowers fade fast and become covered by a mass of atom, left surrounded by buzzing flies. That is death. You find that here flower was a natural thing. It was full with beauty, but it was dead. But the essence of flower, the very much beauty of the flower, the very much, what you can call uh, sweetness of flower are living. Flower itself is going to fade, but the essence of flower always lives. So the concept of death is applied to all natural world, because nothing is above the time. Nothing is going to make the life just move freely. It remains under the impact of time forever. Now, the poet is discussing the song of the nightingale sung since biblical time. Now, it is just to go away, to do away with the time and impermanence. We are just not avoiding very much tension and confrontation created by time, and the concept of impermanence, and we always are fearful of death. This realization has made us think about the just impermanence of life. So instead of thinking about this kind of thing, we should talk about the immortal thing that we can create out of our short life, which has the longest span of time to stay. We know that we are just, or we may make our life immortal, all because of our creation, all because of our artistic approach of life. We find that it is within the short span of life that we have to make our life very much as beautiful as we can, all because of our effort to create. So, here, instead of talking about the impermanence of life or just a short span of life, why should we not talk about the utilization of this life for the creation of the best? And so, Song of Nightingale becomes immortal when we are creating something, just being unconcerned with the impermanence and sorrow we find that something immortal comes out. The greatest immortality is to be achieved by our free creation of mind, by our just mind which remains in the happy stage of creation. And we find that the song is the same as heard in the ancient and biblical times. And the song is the same which is heard this time also. So it is in this way we can say that the beautiful song sung by Nightingale is going to appear the bird immortal. With the immortal art and beauty, the creator also becomes immortal. So we can achieve immortality in our mortal life by our artistic presence, by our creative presence, by our poetic capacity. So the poet is also going to write a beautiful song. That poet knows that he is just going to live for a short time, but the song that he is going to write is going to stay for a long time. That his short span of life will be translated into a long span of time. And it is what we can say is the concept of victory over time and death. Even death and time are to be defeated. They are not just what we can call the existence, which can make us fearful that it is above victory. But we can say that we have always been living beyond time, all because of our artistic creation. So it distracts the speaker from all the anxiety and grief. We should not. We should not be shocked of all these realistic realization that we find and watch in this world. So Nightingale has no lasting comfort, it flies away. Nothing good or beautiful can last forever because Nightingale is flying away. With it, its beautiful song also just disappears. So the poet thinks that with Nightingale, the beautiful song has also gone away. But still, in his mind, that song is just coming and recoming. And we find that he is just under the influence of the beauty of that song. So it is all about the feeling on death, time, and impermanence. This is what the theme and subject matter of song is. And when just he remembers, he thinks whether do I wake or sleep. Now, it is a kind of realization that he has gone after hearing the song of Nightingale, that it is so beautiful, it is immortal for its beauty because it remains always. The poet does no longer hear the same song, but it is somewhere present in the surrounding, into the atmosphere, and it is just perceived by the unseen force of the poetic imagination. So he is in sleeping condition all because of the fact that he is under the influence of the song, or he has been enlightened. He is waking of himself, and he is just going to take a resolute view that he is going to write as nice a poem as just is the song of Nightingale. So the speaker, even while alive, is already asleep for inevitability of death. That is one thing. that has been very much the region of his being sorrow. But when he has heard the song of a nightingale who wakes up, and he is just coming to realize a great feeling that life is not to be wasted. And we find that he should be under the influence of poetic imagination. He has been just taking help of intoxicating agent for making his bad experience away from his mind, to make his just sensibility blunt. But it is just to live in this world that we cannot be sensitive enough to live in this world. But when we are talking about living permanently against the just non-permanent existence of our physical world, we can say it is through the imaginative creation that we can, because it can give us the highest pleasure. And so we can say that the poem is going to full with a great just a realization of the fact that let us live like a nightingale which has been singing the song for a long time. Thank you.